Hi, welcome to another edition of the Alan Rosenberg Show. So, about a week or so ago, give or take, I did a review of the new U2 collection, the controversial collection called Songs of Surrender. And they have officially announced the shows that they're going to be doing in Las Vegas at the Sphere, which I think, without exaggeration, are going to be the most important, most amazing, incredible concert experience maybe ever. I think it's going to revolutionize the whole industry. It's going to be the biggest jump in live concert experience, I think, since like the Stones 69-72 tour, which really brought in that whole proscenium classic arena that we got used to, and then, of course, the stadium shows. But this thing's going to be on a whole nother level, and leave it to a band like U2 to be the first ones to do it in Vegas. I think it's going to be an extraordinary experience. Sorry, Larry Mullen Jr. is not going to be able to be there, but this show is just going to be too big for them not to do. So we'll have to see. So in honor of that, I figured I would do a ranking. I haven't done a ranking video in a while, and I'm going to rank the U2 albums. And then I started looking, and I have quite the collection, which you can't actually see because there's a ton here, which I'm going to show you. I actually have 57 U2 CDs, all their albums, and then some great bootlegs that I'll show you at the end, and also some really cool CD singles that have lots of tracks on them, because U2 is great with that kind of stuff. I'm going to rank it, and then I'll show you the bootlegs and the CD singles. I have 57 U2 CDs here that I'm going to show you. So it's a good collection. That doesn't even count the vinyl that I have, but that's another story. So let's get into it. If you're new to my channel, and if you like my channel, check out my other videos, and please hit subscribe. Help my channel to grow. Doing this 2.5 years, and I'm getting closer to 1,000 subscribers. So it would be a good little accomplishment for my little channel, and help my channel to grow so more people will discover it, and we have a better community. All right, before I rank them, let's do a quick review. So 1980, U2 comes out with their first album, Boy. Kind of punkish, but punk with intelligence, and it's got what you need. That opening single, so everybody gets to know the band, and that's, of course, I Will Follow. I thought it was a good release. I was kind of hearing them from the beginning. Here's a cassette tape from back in the day from WLIR Radio. Did a live broadcast from Malibu, a club, this is a show from December 13th, 1981, which was from the October tour, which, of course, was their second album. I thought it was kind of a holding pattern. It was good, some good songs, but, again, not an amazing album. I thought it was actually a little bit, not quite as impactful to me as the first album. But, of course, it's got, I Threw a Brick Through a Window and Gloria, still some really good songs. The third album, War, was where they really started to break bigger. Besides being a cult, now they're really starting to explode. War, of course, has got Sunday Bloody Sunday and New Year's Day and Seconds and Two Hearts Beat as One. I thought it was a big jump in quality, and I actually saw them on that tour, and you can see that this was a band that was destined for not just greatness, but if they can put the songs together, keep going, they will be one of the biggest bands in the world. That was my take when I saw them live on the War Tour. Then they did a brilliant move. They released the live EP Under a Blood Red Sky. This is the deluxe edition with the video. That video DVD used to get played a lot on MTV from Red Rocks, and that also totally exposed them to a bigger audience. You can get to see what an amazing band they were live from the War Tour. Great release. Their momentum's building. What do? They put out the unforgettable Fire. I remember, I'm a Long Islander here. On Long Island, they were playing Bad all the time. And a sort of Home Comes, great track. And, of course, the Big E's Pride in the Name of Love, an all-time classic. I like the album, but for me, I don't know. I thought it was a mixed bag. Some great, great stuff. Some okay stuff for me. But the momentum was clearly building. They were becoming a stadium-level band. And that led us, of course, to that. So this album came out, of course, in 1984, a 3-year break working on the Joshua Tree, and that's where they become, arguably the biggest band in the world at the time. Maybe inarguably, they certainly were. And that is a monster record, of course, the #1 single, With or Without You, but it was just loaded with amazing tracks. There's a box set of that. Where can they take it after that? Well, they released a movie that... of course, when you start to get to that kind of level, and, you know, U2 being kind of pretentious in a way, there's going to be a backlash. And they did receive a backlash for Rattle and Hum. I didn't understand why. I think it's an amazing album. It's one of my favorites. And I thought the movie was damn great, too. And there's some amazing stuff on Rattle and Hum. So that was the follow-up to the Joshua Tree in '88. Another 3-year break, they released Achtung Baby, which I think is a masterpiece. They're going to be focusing on that album, apparently, when they play at Sphere. We'll talk about the ranking later, but that's, to me, an unbelievable masterpiece. Where could they take it? You know, can they go any higher? Well, that was 1991. 2 years later, they do a little more experimentation, going way past the experimentation of Achtung Baby with Zeropa. And then in 1997, 4 years later, they released Pop over there. And now, you know, live, and you're going to talk about their DVDs and their live shows. Lives, they're still as big as ever, the biggest band, you know, going back and forth with the Rolling Stones, who could do a bigger tour, bigger staging. They're going back and forth, battling it out. And, you know, it's massive. I mean, the Pop tour was just, the Pop Mart was insane, the staging. But the album, you know, a little bit of a disappointment. Maybe it was a rush job. Now, 3 years later, they put All That You Can't Leave Behind. I think another unbelievable masterpiece, absolutely incredible album. To me, they're way back to the top. They followed it up in 2004 with Atomic Bomb. How to dismantle an atomic bomb. I thought another phenomenal album. These albums, to me, were just masterpieces. They kept going. I thought 2009, 5 years later, No Line on the Horizon. I thought another excellent album. Not quite as good as these two, but it was still a great album. Live, they're still huge. They're getting a backlash on their recordings, and I wasn't quite sure why, because I thought they were amazing records, but I guess that's bound to happen. Another 5 years go by, Days of Innocence comes out. I thought this was another masterpiece, a phenomenal album to me. I think this album is still phenomenal. Great tour, amazing album, bit of a backlash with it. And then, but to me, and I used to quote it saying, yeah, U2 is one of the few bands that as they get older, they just keep maintaining this incredible quality, I thought. And then, 2017, they released this one, Days of Experience. Now, this was the first U2 album since, like, Pop, where it didn't really gel with me. I was shocked, considering how much I love these. But that one didn't gel that much with me. But still a big tour, and that leads us to 2023 with Songs of Surrender. So there you go. A very, very quick overview of U2, one of the world's biggest, greatest bands, and certainly the greatest band that a lot of people hate for just want to hate them, I guess because they're pretentious or whatever. So let's get into a fun ranking. This is just for fun. And how do I rank them? I rank them based on play. How much did I actually listen to these albums? I could analyze an album to death, but at the end of the day, if you don't listen to it, it's just like academic. What do I play? And what have I played the most? And what albums would I reach to play? That combination is how do I rank them. So there's 16 studio albums plus Under the Blood Red Skies in there. I'm not including Passengers, which is really a combination album with U2 and Brian Eno. Some really cool stuff on here. Miss Sarajevo's on here, but this album wouldn't even rank for me. It's a lot of instrumental stuff, but glad to have it. So let's start at the bottom. My number 16 album for U2 is their second album, October. And as I said, I think U2 is one of these interesting bands that I think they got better and better as they got older and older and more experienced. Their first three albums are really good, especially War is a great one. But their first two albums especially were a band feeling where they're going to go. And here's the song tracks on October. Their second album, again, this came out in 1981. Gloria is amazing. They Threw a Brick Through a Window is really good. There's a lot of really good songs on here. But I don't think it's a phenomenal album. And I just didn't listen to it that much. So that's why, for me, it's at number 16. At number 15, well, it might move up over the years, but that's going to be the newest one, Songs of Surrender. You could check out my video. I don't think it is as bad as a lot of people think it is. It's just not an album that I'm going to play much anymore, I don't think. Although it's 4 CDs and in small doses, it's a good listen. So maybe if I'm in the mood for some mellower U2, I'll go to it. But overall, I would put that at number 15. At number 14 is Songs from Experience, and that's from, when did that come out? 2017. And I don't know what it is about this album. I'm going to have to go back to it. One of my viewers said, go back and give it another listen, and I think you're right. Maybe it just got beat out in competition because I get so many albums that it lost its way. But it's just not an album that I played very often, and it was shocking to me considering how much I loved the one that came before that, which was Songs of Innocence. So that was a shocker for me. At number 14 was Songs of Experience. At number 13, I'm going to go with their debut album, Boy. Again, it was a good debut album, a very strong one. I Will Follow is an all-time classic, and Out of Control is great. Stories for Boys. Another Time, Another Place. It's a fine debut album, but it's not, in my opinion, great, great, great. It's just a good debut album. And I hope I don't have a domino effect like some of the viewers have seen. That would really suck. Let's keep going. At number 12, we're going to go with Pop. Pop's a little bit of a frustrating album for me because there's some really good things on this album. I like the experimentation. There's some really good pop songs too. If God Will Send His Angels and Staring at the Sun's a great round. Last Night on Earth, Gone. Please, Wake Up Dead Man. It's not that it's not a good album. I get the feeling this album was rushed. I know they were putting together Pop Mart, one of the biggest tours, maybe it was the biggest tour at that point, and maybe they just couldn't put all of their effort into this album. Maybe they can go back, fix it up a little bit. I think there's greatness in that album. It's just not quite there at this point. That's my opinion on Pop. I don't want it to fall over, so let's stick it over there. So that was number 12. At number 11, might shock some people, but I'm going to put The Unforgettable Fire. What can I tell you? I think it's a really good album. I think it maintained where they were building up after war and Under the Blood Red Sky. It was the perfect album for them to release. But overall, song for song, I don't think it's a hit and miss in my opinion. I'm one of the few people maybe who don't think Bad is as great a song as a lot of people think it was. I used to get a lot of radio play, and I'm like, where's the dynamics? It just keeps going. I appreciate the mood and the feel and Edge's guitar sound. But Pride in the Name of Love, obviously, is just one of the greatest songs of all time. Number 11, The Unforgettable Fire. At number 10 for me, I'm going to go with Zeropa. Similar situation as Pop. I think it's better than Pop. Maybe they went a little too far, but maybe I like it more because of all the live stuff from that tour was just amazing. But it's a decent listen, and I appreciate, Numb and Lemon, Stay Far Away So Close, Dirty Day, The Wanderer. It's an interesting album. Is it a great album? No. Could it have been a great album? Maybe. Maybe they went a little too far on Zeropa. But it's not as bad as I think a lot of people think it is. That's at number 10. At number 9, we're going to go with War. They were heading to become a superstar band at that time. Again, I saw them live. And, Sunday, Bloody Sunday in Seconds, and New Year's Day, what an opening trio. Two Hearts Beat a One, another great song. A lot of really good songs on this album. Do I think it's a perfect album? No. Do I think they did a lot better later on, like these? Yeah, I think they did. But War is a great album, and it was a great time to see them. Which leads me to the next album at number 8. Maybe it's a cheat, but I'm going to put it in here, and that's the live one, Under a Blood Red Sky. This was just a brilliant move. After War, October, boy, you had to put this out live at Red Rocks, and the video especially is just amazing. But the 7 tracks live, it's just killer. That's a great live show, and it's their only official live album. Considering they're indisputably one of the greatest live bands of all time, they really haven't released a lot of live stuff, which is why they're great to collect bootlegs, which I'll show you afterwards. So there you go. At number 8, Under the Blood Red Sky from 1983. At number 7, an album that I don't think it gets all the respect it deserves, and that's No Line on the Horizon from 2009. One of the latter day albums, and as I said, I think they were a band that they really got their act together again, and they were just putting out really good stuff. And this album is just loaded with great tracks. From beginning to end, I think it's a really, really good listen, and I just think a lot of people try to shit on them. They're just an easy band to hate, but Moment of Surrender and Magnificent, Unknown Call, this is just I'll go crazy if I don't go crazy tonight. This is a really good record. So there you have it, and that would be at number 7 from 2009, No Line on the Horizon. At number 6, to me, a sorely underrated album and movie, Rattle and Hum. I think it's great. That's at number 6 from 1988, Rattle and Hum. Yeah, they get a little pretentious. Helter Skelter, a song that Charles Manson stole from the Beatles, and that is still in the back. Yeah, a little pretentious, but it's still a good version. But Van Diemen's Land with Edge singing that, Desire is great. I love the version of Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For, Silver and Gold. Angel of Harlem's great. Love Rescue Me, When Love Comes to Town is brilliant. Guard Part 2. And All I Want Is You is a masterpiece. This is a really, really strong record. Number 6, 1988's Rattle and Hum. Number 5, I am going to go with Songs of Innocence, an album that, I don't know, a lot of people just shit on this thing, and I don't get it. I think I'm putting it at number 5. I mean, I think it's an amazing album, really, from beginning to end. It's such a strong record, Every Breaking Wave, Song for Someone, Iris, Raised by Wolves, Cedarwood Road, The Troubles. I don't know. I don't know why people didn't fall in love with this album. They did a great tour for it as well. There you have it. At number 5, 2014, Songs of Innocence. At number 4, yep, I'm going with another latter-day one, How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb. For the beginning albums, they had such a distinct sound, and it got a little, for me, it got a little annoying. Edge's guitar always had such a U2 sound. I'm like, could they do more? And they did. They expanded their sound and went into different territories, the mark of a great band. And when they did the opening of this album, Vertigo, Uno, dos, tres, catorce, it's like a straight rock song. I always felt like U2 didn't really know how to do a straight rock song, but they did. And this album's killer. I think it's killer from beginning to end. This is a deluxe edition with a documentary, but Miracle Drug and Vertigo, and Sometimes You Can't Make It On Your Own, Love and Peace or Else. I mean, every goddamn song on this album, Original Species, Yahweh. I think almost every song on this album is great. I do not know why a lot of people shit on their latter-day albums. This is a killer album, which is why I have it at number 4. 2004's Atomic Bomb. Number 3 for me is going to be their biggest album and an all-time classic, The Joshua Tree. Here's the Super Deluxe box set. I have it at number 3 because it's just an album that I never listened to. But you can't fault it for that. I mean, it's a monster album. Look at the track listing. Classic after classic. I have like all the vinyl singles from this album. It's a monster album. I like the bonus CD and I like the live DVD bonus as well in this box. The problem with monster albums like this is they're just overplayed and I just don't feel like listening to them. But that doesn't take away from the fact that The Joshua Tree is a monster masterpiece. And that's why I have it at number 3. At number 2 is the year 2000's U2 album, All That You Can't Leave Behind. I think this album, you knew that was going to happen. Happens almost every video, right? Sorry about that, guys. Let's keep going as I just broke some CDs. Where are we? Number 2, All That You Can't Leave Behind from 2000. This album, to me, is number 2. I mean, look at that track listing. Beautiful. Stuck in a Moment You Can't Get Out of. Elevation, Walk On, Kite. Every damn song on this album, to me, is pretty amazing. I love this album. It's a tremendous release from a band in 2000 that had done so much and how they were able to still have that massive quality. Number 2, All That You Can't Leave Behind from 2000. What's my number 1? Well, what's left is Octung Baby. They're released from 1991. I think it's by far their best album. I think it's a perfect album. I think the fact that they're playing the Sphere and focusing on this album is a great idea. It was interesting because the opening single was To Fly, which was a really strange single. But this album is just chock full of classic after classic, including One, Until the End of the World, Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses, So Cruel, Mysterious Ways. Every damn song, Ultraviolet, is amazing. This is a deluxe version of it with B-sides. There's tons of different versions of U2. I don't have those super massive deluxe box sets that they put out. But, I have like these little deluxe editions. Great, amazing album. number 1. So there you have it. My ranking: number 1 album, Octung Baby. Number 2, All That You Can't Leave Behind. Number 3, Joshua Tree, which crashed. Number 4, How to Dismember an Atomic Bomb. Number 5, Songs of Innocent. Number 6, Rattle and Hum. Number 7, No Line on Horizon. Number 8, Under the Blood Red Sky, the live one. Number 9, War, right here. Number 10, Zeropa. Number 11, The Unforgettable Fire. Number 12, Pop, which fell somewhere. At number 13, their debut, Boy. At number 14, Songs of Experience, right there. Number 15, Songs of Surrender, their most recent release. And number 16, October. So, hope you enjoyed that. If you're still with me, and hopefully you're not bored, let me show you some other things as far as best of albums. You know, U2's done some cool ones. This is one that they did, and I have the doubles. These are really worthwhile to get. The best of 1980 to 1990. And this came out, when did this one come out? 1998, I believe it was. And this is got best tracks from 1980, 1990, but they always did great B-sides and really cool tracks that didn't make, you know, the albums. And this is a really cool collection to have. I definitely recommend it. And then in 2002, they did the same thing with this one, the best of 1990 to 2000. Another great collection. And you get some things on there, you know, Electrical Storm, Miss Sarajevo, great stuff, some different mixes. Hold Me, Throw Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me, great stuff. New mix of Staring at the Sun, good idea. And then you got these B-sides. Lady with the Spinning Heads, really cool. There's a lot of really good B-sides that they do. And then if that wasn't enough, in 2006, they put out the U2 18 singles. It's an album that I never listened to. But if you're a newbie or you want to be a newbie for U2, this is a good way to start out. Now, as I had said, U2, one of the greatest live bands of all time, you would think that they would have put out a live album, but they haven't. All they've put out is Under the Blood Red Sky and that EP, White American America, which is only a couple of songs. So they're a great band to collect bootlegs, and that's what this is. So this is I have pretty much all live bootlegs. This is a studio sessions from 1991. This is a really awesome bootleg, but you know, they do some great shows and radio shows. This is Santa Claus Is Coming to Town, and this is live from the Point in Ireland on December 25th of 1989. And then another one, New Year's Eve from 1989. And these are really good tapes, really good shows. So U2, because they don't release a lot of live albums at all, they're a great band to collect. First night of the 1992 World Tour, another excellent bootleg that I have. And a lot of Zootopia type tour bootlegs I have. Great shows. Great shows. Here's another one. Here's one, Zoo Europa, live from the mixing desk. All 2 CDs, and these are the complete shows. Similar set list. This is a cool one from Pop Mart in Brazil. That amazing show. And another great one from the Vertigo tour. And this is another cool bootleg from Cellar Dweller. And here's one live from the Rose Bowl. I think this is from the No Line on the Horizon tour. Great stuff. They probably don't release a lot of live albums because they release a lot of DVDs. And they are a band that is meant to be seen and not just heard, because they're staging, like I said, they used to battle with the Rolling Stones who could put on the best shows. So here's a bunch of DVDs they've released. Vertigo, live from Chicago. And this is more of a bare bones live one. You see I paid $3.99 for that one. But this is a beauty. U2 Elevation, live from Boston. This is a deluxe DVD with a couple of DVDs in here. Special features and documentaries and stuff. This is a great one. Zoo TV, live from Sydney. that massive stage. You know, this stuff is meant to be seen, not just heard. U2 always at the forefront of live shows. Here's a bootleg live from Glastonbury in 2011. Another amazing performance. They're so great live. Look at this one, Pop Mart. Another amazing DVD set live from Mexico City. I mean, just they go all out. Documentaries and bonus tracks and video tracks. Just so much material. Here's their movie, Rattle and Hum, on DVD. I have it on Laserdisc also. Like I said, I think a really underrated film. Another bootleg from the Innocence and Experience tour. What a great stage they had for that. And great show. Again, great album. And then what is this? That unbelievable stage. Look at that monster, the Claw. That's 360 at the Rose Bowl. Yep, they know how to put out DVDs and live shows. U2. The only other thing I'm going to show you is they're a great band to collect CD singles because of all the unreleased tracks. So here's a Discotheque, and then Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me from the Batman theme. These CD singles always have lots of extra tracks. Stay away, Stay Far Away, So Close. You can see, you know, there's no shortage of extra material when they record, and they throw them on these CD singles. So if you're a U2 fan, you get a lot of great stuff. Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses? And you can see Paint It Black and Fortunate Son and different mixes. Here's another version of Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses. Completely different tracks right there. And One from Tongue Baby, which I think is their best song, and I think one of the greatest songs of all time. All I Want Is You, a masterpiece of a track from Rattle and Hum. And what else do we got? We got some of the funkier Please, and you got 4 extra live tracks, which are great. It's amazing they don't release live albums. Mo-Fi, remixes, and If God Will Send His Angels, and you could see. So you get a lot of it. Sunday Bloody Sunday live, Two Hearts Beat as One live, Stuck in a Moment You Can't Get Out Of, some extra stuff on there. And U2's 7 really cool tracks right there. And we're at the end almost. Electrical Storm, another really cool CD single. And City of Blinding Lights, another really cool CD single. And then I got this promotional thing from Microsoft Office. So U2 always on the cutting edge of promotion and live shows and giving value for money in everything they do. That's it. There's my tribute to U2. 28 minutes in, ranked the albums, did a little history of them, showed you a bunch of bootlegs, their CD singles, DVDs, pretty much my collection of U2, not including some vinyl. Hope you enjoyed this. And let's see what happens when U2 plays the Sphere. I'm telling you, I think it's going to be revolutionary. I think it's going to revolutionize the concert industry. And U2 is the perfect band to do it. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. Please hit subscribe. Check out my other videos. Tell your friends. Help my channel to grow. We greatly appreciate it. As you can see, everything I do is about physical media. I don't just talk and do Wikipedia and talk. I'm showing you my collection of over 5,000 albums and decades of listening and analyzed music. So I hope you like it. The Alan Rosenberg Show. That's for watching. I'll see you next time.